But my question to you, Steiny, is it seems like you're coming from a place of confidence, and Andy Reid was there 13 years, and it didn't happen.
Here's my question. Yeah. 49ers get to the Super Bowl
this year.
Is Kyle Shanahan an asset or a detriment?
Asset.
Okay. Well, then I don't understand how there can be any – like, if you're saying your coach is an asset, I'm not saying he can't make a bad decision, but I just don't – like, I don't believe – that a coach, like, is snake bitten. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I don't. I mean.
So Don Nelson, well, he never got in the Western Conference
When did
Finals.
Don Nelson have the best team in the NBA?
Okay, no, so just throw that out. Right.
I mean, to me.
But why is he a Hall of Famer then, Steiny?
Because he won more games than any other coach in the history of basketball.
Do you think he would say, I wouldn't want that on my ledger, and I'd rather have
I'm sure he would.
NBA championship?
I'm sure he would, but, like, I don't think Don Nelson was the reason his teams never won a title. You know what I mean? Like, okay, how about that? Is there a coach out there that you can look at, say, like he was never going to, like Marv Levy. Now, was Marv Levy
a Hall of Famer?
He couldn't get it done? Well, I guess he couldn't, but it's like, was he really the reason the Bills couldn't get it done?
Not at all.
So, with Kyle Shanahan, I don't know. I mean, if you're saying you don't think he's snake bit, but
I feel like we're on that road, and it looks let's just say they go to the NFC Championship game this year, they lose 20-10. Next year they lose in the wild card round. I don't want to speak for you, but here we go. I feel like you would say, Goo, you know what? They're still winning. They're having some success. I would then be able to, me personally, use those 2 years to add to the theme that close no cigar.
Okay, so
then I would turn around and answer your question a bit differently and say, Steiny, you know what? I think he's just Marty Schottenheimer. I just think for whatever reason he can't get it done. He can get you close, but I just don't see him winning it.
It's just hypothetical. How long would you let this go?
Now, if you're telling me it's...
I'll tell you right now, if this year what'd you say,
NFC Championship game.
Lose
3 in a row.
Lose 2010.
Okay.
Next year, they lose in a wild card game? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I'm not firing him.
And again, I'm not Woody Harrelson, True Detective, but my antennas would be up if I'm York. Like,
okay, then the next year they don't make the playoffs.
Or is it what's going on to where we're getting lemon booty, or we're not performing at our best, on the high, the biggest stage. And I want to say something to you about Kyle. Do you think, I know my answer, do you think Kyle Shanahan is closer to a Super Bowl than his franchise quarterback? I have my answer. Do you think Kyle Shanahan is closer to winning a Super Bowl than having his franchise quarterback? And the reason I say yes is because Brock Purdy is still relatively unknown. We still need to see him for a full season. But even without Brock Purdy, Kyle had buku chances with Jimmy in the gang to get it done, Steiny.
Yeah, I think here's my view of Shanahan after 6 years. I think he's proven that he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Not perfect, but a good coach. And as long as his team keeps getting to the playoffs, he's like I can't see any reason why he wouldn't be here. He's going to be here. I think he's going to be here for at least another 6 years.
Okay, and you know what? I'd probably take that bet.
And he'll be here in 6 years. I'll tell you what. I think he'll be here in 6 years, assuming that they don't miss the playoffs 5 of 6 years. Let's say they go 4 of 6 years. But even if they don't win a Super Bowl, he'll still be here.
All right. I think it's trending that way.
I guess that's a question. I mean, are we really talking? How long do you go without a Super Bowl before you fire Kyle Shanahan? I think that's the question you want to just get at.
And how many did you say Andy was in Philly? What was it, 13 years?
I think it was 13 or 14 years in Philly.
Man, that's a long time for it to finally say, you know what, it's time to go in a different direction.
And now that they fired him, was it Andy Reid's fault that Philly never got over the hump?
Well, man, Peterson on line one, and now Sirianni. I would be a fool to put all Philly's new success at the doorstep of Andy. I'm just saying those two guys, well, one's got it done, and Sirianni had his team in position to get it done last year. But I guess I want to say everybody's replaceable. I don't know, but I would dare not take any stripes from Andy to answer your question. But Philly, your Peterson cashed in. I'm just telling you, Steiny.
Yeah, this is where the trucker's right.
I think you want me to say something. I'm trying to.
We're oil and water on this one. You don't want to take any stripes from Andy Reid, but you didn't want to give him anything till he won a Super Bowl.
Well,
I need more balance.
Well, I want that conversation.
I can't live life
into
those extremes.
He was the quarterback coach. He was the coach of Alex Smith in Kansas City. Nobody knew the world was going to change. The football world was going to change when they got Mahomes. And then now my goodness, it's incredible what he's doing. So
name me a coach right now who you would take over Kyle Shanahan, who's not a head coach right now. Or at least who's not Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, or give me another coach of a team that won it in the last. That's it.
Yeah. Jim Harbaugh. Because Jim Harbaugh.
You think Jim Harbaugh is a better coach at the pro level than Kyle Shanahan?
No, I'm not. I'll put what he did up to what Kyle's doing, and I believe, because I'm a big Jim fan, Steiny, I believe he would have got it done. That's just me, Jim Harbaugh. Had he been as close as Kyle was, had he had that headset on, that's the guy I believe would have threw the flag.
The same guy who called the same play four times in a row?
Or would have had.
Why would you give Harbaugh the benefit of the doubt and not Kyle Shanahan?
That was Roman. That wasn't all him. That wasn't all him.
Some other guys in your own division too that won Super Bowls: Pete Carroll and Sean McVay.
So. Man, yes, yeah.
Thank you,
Spadoni.
But I don't think 49er fans would take McVay over Kyle Shanahan.